it's Selena again, back with another little Webby episode talking about books and reviews. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the views that I got on the last one, which was none at all, but that's okay, because I don't mind. With this book that I'm going to talk about 3 books today, and I was talking to this about a friend of mine, and she kind of brought up, she said, that's a really nice idea, really cool. A lot of people are going to get to, hear about what you have to say. And that's really nice because if they're looking for a good book to read, it's nice to hear from another person that it was good. Of course, I'm the only person and not everybody has the same kind of opinion on what a good book is. So, but she was saying, that it would be nice to review a book that I'd read that month. Well, I'm, like I said, a senior in high school. I also have it's a part-time job, but I work about 40 hours a week. So, is it really part-time? But I'm a waitress at a restaurant, obviously, and so I'm a little bit on the busy side, and I don't always get to read a lot of books in a month. So while I will try to do that, take that into consideration most definitely, I'm going to first start reviewing books that I have already read. The first one that I'm going to review today is called Heist Society by Allie Carter. It's a really good book. I pretty much enjoyed it for the most part. First off, let me just say that it's not my typical reading book. This isn't the kind of book that you'd find on my reading list. I tried to read a series by Allie Carter called the Gallagher Girls series, and it was pretty entertaining, really liked it, but it wasn't where I was like, this is so good, I gotta keep reading, and it was a long series. This was the first one, Heist Society, and it doesn't really have a series name. It's just called the Heist Society series. What I loved most about it was the mystery. I love mystery shows. I watch them all the time, and I've never read a book about mysteries. So this was basically the first one that I'd read, and I loved it. The main girl, Katerina, or Kat, is basically she lives in a family of not so much mobsters, but the family business is heist, which is basically stealing stuff, and it's rare items like paintings, or in the second one it's the what's her name, Cleopatra gem, and in this first one a painting goes missing from a very rich, very scary mobster man, and her father is being framed for stealing it. Which is kind of ironic because though it is the family business to steal paintings of great value, he did not take it. Katerina has gone through, she really doesn't like the business. She wants to further her life, so to speak. So she kind of backs out of the business and goes to school, a regular, I think it was an all-girls school, I can't really remember right now, but it was an academy. And so she's there, she's living her life, and she gets kicked out for something that she didn't do. And she finds out that it ends up being her friend who actually set it up to make it look like it was her so that she could get kicked out, so that the only option she had was to come home and rejoin the family business. Well, the friend is not a part of the family, but he did this for personal reasons, I like to say, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm pretty sure you can figure them out. And, he gets her back, and he lets her know what's going on, and she immediately is like, I don't want to be a part of this business, but I love my father, and I know that he didn't do it. So we jumped straight into her just trying to figure out who did it, get the painting back to the mobster guy, and so she can clear her father's name because he was totally going to murder him. And it's really good. It's a thrill. I really loved it. Like, again, I said it was by Allie Carter. It's a New York Times bestseller. It's called Heist Society, and it's a short novel. But it's good, It keeps you going. Like, you're wondering, like, this is so interesting, like, the way that they get this stuff done, just to get this painting and clear her father's name. And it's really interesting. And there's a second one. It's called Uncommon Criminals, and it's about, like I said, the Cleopatra gem. And the third one just came out recently. Actually, I think it was in February. It's called Perfect Scoundrels. I haven't had the chance to read it yet, but I would definitely recommend this series. It's like a 14-year-old book. You could definitely read it. There is not so much sexual content in it or romance. That's more towards the second book, where the author, Allie Carter, kind of leads you into thinking that that's where it's going to go. So the second book I'm going to talk to you about is Project 17 by Laurie Faria Stolarz. I hope I said her name right. I don't really know. She is definitely, I'd have to say, one of my favorite authors. Not number one. She is super good, but she's not number one. She also has another series that I will talk about in another episode, but This book, Project 17, scared the crap out of me. I started it Saturday morning, and I finished it Sunday morning at like 3 or 4 a.m. And what sucked was because I had church the other day, and that was not by choice. The book was scary. I love scary movies. I can't handle them, but I love them. And so I was just like flipping the pages. Just this book was so good, and I really did like it. But it was scary. It's all about these group of kids. This guy, he enters a video contest, and basically what he has to do is he's got to film this video. He lives in this town, and his father owns a, I don't want to say McDonald's, but it's a fast food company. And basically what he will be doing his entire life, unless he furthers himself, is flipping burgers. And he says, I don't want that with my life. I want to go into filming. I want to become a producer. Well, he enters this film competition, but he needs a crew. You know, he needs people. So he gathers the misfits of the school, the kids who are into the theater crowd but are not popular at all because they're so obsessed with theater. His best friend, who is just facing some home problems that we don't really figure out what they are until the end. The goth girl, the typical goth girl, and the goody-goody two-shoes. And it's basically this girl, the goody-goody two-shoes, she is going places with her life. She's got some huge college lined up, and she wants it so bad, but she's not getting accepted because she doesn't have enough extracurricular credits. All she really has is that she was super awesome in school, and that she did NJHS, you know, like all that furthering her school career, but she didn't do anything outside. She didn't have a club, and she didn't, you know, join like a group or anything. So she says, this is going to look really good on my application if I just do this, you know. I don't have to become their friends. I can just do the video with them, help this kid out, you know. Well, it's got a backstory. The main character, Derek, is in another one of Laurie Faria Stolar's books. It's called Bleed. I haven't had the chance to read that. I read through a little bit of it, but I put it down, and I have yet to pick it back up. Not that it was bad. It's the beginning was kind of slow. But we kind of hear his backstory, which he occasionally mentions, and it not directly telling us outright what it is. So there's that mystery that you in the book with thinking, I got to go read that book, Bleed, because now I got to know what he did. And it's kind of a romantic story. He's got a huge crush on the goody two-shoes. And it's cute, and I really liked it, but it scared the crap out of me, like I said. So not so much the fact that I'm a baby about things like that, but the fact that it was just, they go to film a live video in a mental hospital where that has been shut down, and it's run down, and it's got all these kind of rumors at the top of this hill, and it's about to be torn down. And he wants to get one last shot through it. And they go in the middle of the night, and some crazy stuff happens. So that was Project 17 by Laurie Faria Stolarz. I definitely recommend picking this book up. I loved it. The last book I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite books. This book really touched me. It's called The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. First of all, I love this author. She's so fantastic at catching teen girls' real-life perspective. She really shows you, like, that you can get through. There are all of Sarah Dessen books are overcoming something. And in this one right here, this one's about Macy, and she was a runner. She was an athlete, a track star athlete, and she was basically just amazing. Well, one day, her dad, I don't want to spoil it, but her dad has a heart attack, and she basically blames herself for what she thinks is a good reason. It's been a couple of years, and she's got this boyfriend whose name is Jason, and you know, he's going away to this what she calls a geek camp because he's a genius in school. He just is going great places, and they've been together for 3 years. It was like 2 or 3 years. It was a long time, and they never said they loved each other. Well, one day she tells him, you know, I love you, over an email while he's at geek camp, and the next email calls off their relationship. And basically, she's doing all these things for him. She's working in the library, which was his job, but she's filling in for him while he's gone at geek camp. And she works with, like, these really rude people, but she's just like, you know, I love my boyfriend, and I'm doing this for him so that he can have the job. And they're all just like, why are you with this girl? She's not even that smart. You know, she's at average intelligence. And so she basically does that. Well, she does something crazy. Her mom has always been just a rigid person, like, do this, do this, do this. You're going to go somewhere in life, but you have to do this, So she wasn't a step out of the box kind of person until she meets Delia and the Wings crew. I believe it's called Wings. And basically it's a catering company filled with a whole bunch of different kinds of people that have a whole lot of backstories of their own. And she joins the catering crew just to help out a little bit. And in the book, she is helping these people out, and she basically finds herself. She meets people, she falls in love, and basically learns that it was not her fault that her father died. And she basically makes a lot of connections to the people that she met, who quite possibly some of them might have even known her father. So it was a fantastic book. It was the first Sarah Dessen book I'd ever read, and I absolutely loved it. Well, actually, it was the second one. Keeping the Moon was the first one. But I loved The Truth About Forever. It has by far been my favorite one. I love the characters. I love Macy. I love the journey that she takes. I definitely recommend this for any teen girl out there. A guy could read it too. I don't care. But it's so good. It really teaches you a lot of stuff. And that's The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen, a New York Times bestseller. I definitely recommend checking out her books because they are fantastic. They are real life books. Things like this happen to people, and it's stuff that we got to overcome. Well, that's it for today. I talked about The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen, Project 17 by Laurie, Faria, Stolarz, and Heist Society by Allie Carter. I definitely recommend checking out all three of those, and subscribe. I will see you next time.